It's Holly.
I hate that I said that. It's Holly and Hannah. And we're Culture Hang. Back again. Holly and Hannah for another episode.
We've survived another week. Yeah.
Yes. Any Annabelle update?
I haven't seen any, and I haven't seen her in my sleep either, so I think we're here to live another day.
We've successfully avoided Annabelle. But I've been haunted by hedgehogs this week.
What?
Yeah, I think that... I don't know what it means, but... I've seen two... Well, you could say it's just the time of year, but I've seen 2 dead hedgehogs in the past week.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and then this morning I went on Instagram and there was an advert for a hedgehog.
Oh, that's scary. Why?
Right?
What, to buy them?
I have no idea. I think it was a sponsorship thing, but who's sponsoring hedgehogs? Maybe it wasn't sponsorship, but it was something hedgehog related. And
oh my god.
The world is trying to tell me something.
Yeah.
Based on hedgehogs.
You
also,
can.
I keep seeing them while I'm jogging in the morning, which for me is like, are they trying to remind me of my own, like...
mortality?
Yeah. Is that right? Is that what the world's trying to tell me? Like, feel lucky that you can run, because these hedgehogs couldn't.
They can't. They just do a little plod, don't they? They don't...
One had clearly been hit by a car, without getting too into detail, and it was midway across the road.
No.
And, yeah. So had it tried to escape? Who knows?
What was that awful children's... was it about the seatbelts? And they used to, like, tout it around all the schools. And it was a hedgehog family, and it was like, King of the Road!
Oh, I remember that. I think there was merchandise.
Was there merch?
I think I had a hedgehog keyring that lit up in, like, it was, what do you call it, glow in the dark. So, you know, if you were biking and it was dark. And like a snap bracelet that was...
I had the snap bracelet.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I just remembered the snap bracelet.
But also,
how did I forget?
Never out in the dark. We would... Because I got it when I was in...
primary school.
I was in, like, year 2.
Yeah, we were really young.
Where are you going on your own as a child in the dark? Well, I suppose
do you
could
remember
be with your parents. What did you say?
Do you remember that other advert which was about, like, wearing something fluorescent when you're walking about in the dark? With that girl that was dead, and she was the ghost that came, and it was, like, animated, and she was this ghost that came back and could see all her family, and it was all because she got hit by a car in the dark.
What do they call them? The personal information movies or something? It's not that, but there's, like, a nice
public safety. Is it PSA?
PSA. It's a PSA. As if I couldn't remember PSA. PSA videos have got darker and darker over the years.
Yeah.
Now there's ghost children. There's children being hit by trains. So you see the one about the family that were on a walk, but they crossed the railroad track?
Oh, yeah, and it was like they were playing I Spy, and then the girl was like, T for trains, and then literally you hear the noise of the train and it all goes black, and I'm like getting goosebumps remembering it. It was horrifying.
Sometimes, like, I've not done this, but one of my friends in sixth form used to just play them on YouTube. And
why?
Like, I don't know, why do people watch horror films? I imagine it was for the same gratification, but for her, it was PSA videos. But there's, like, ones about people not wearing seatbelts.
They're awful.
Yeah, and then children jumping into lakes and stuff and drowning. There's loads.
I've probably told you about this place, but where I live, there was this, it was called Danger Point, and it basically was like all these different simulated situations where children could die or be horrifically injured.
What?
And so it was like a little museum of how you could basically nearly die in a house, how you could die by the seaside, how you could die on a train track, and it was all on the road.
This is for children?
Yeah, we went for like 4 years in a row in primary school. It was ridiculous.
I think that maybe isn't having the effect they want on children, because does that not just make you terrified?
I am the way I am, and I still remember all the facts that they told us. And I remember there was this one guy who was like, "How much water do you think it will take to drown a child?" And because I was small, I was like, above my head, and put my hand above my head, and he went, "No, only 2 inches of water, and that's enough to drown you."
2 inches? Really? I think he's wrong. Like, you could try and drown someone with a little water, but it'd be hard.
I think it's if it's your mouth and nose.
Length. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
but that's like drowning in a puddle.
Exactly, and who's face down in a puddle? Like,
have people drowned in puddles?
Oh, I want to know.
No offense to you, Holly, but I do think this has explained a lot about your personality. That, and I say that in a loving way because I feel I'm very similar to you in a lot of that.
Yeah.
But I didn't have to go to like a torture museum every year when I was a child.
It was
remember
awful.
When swine flu was like really big?
Oh yeah. When that was a thing.
Yeah, I remember when that was the disease of the time. Do you not remember like it seeming like it being really scary? Well, like, there was stuff when you were a child that people would tell you, and it wasn't really a big deal to adults, but you would hear it and be like, "Oh yeah, the world is ending now."
Yeah,
I feel like that happened a lot, and was I worrying a lot for a child, or do children just worry a lot?
I feel like when you think about how much stuff was going on as we were growing up, so I'm not even like in a world-ending sense that we're in now. I mean, like,
I wouldn't want to be a child now. If
oh
I was
my
a child
god!
Now, I'd be like, I can't. No, the world.
No,
this isn't the world for me.
No, you just want to be like, nah, thanks, I'll do something else. I don't want to engage with this. But we were growing up in, like, the recession, and I feel when you see that kind of, whether it hit you or not, I feel like growing up around it, you take on these kinds of anxieties that you don't really think about. I definitely think it's a lot of, like, internalized stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, actually. I would have never thought of that. I just thought we were all, like terrible.
But I think our generation's parents were so worried about it. It's like we were told, don't get into strangers' cars, all that kind of, that the world is kind of out to get you. And I definitely think Danger Point really fed into my anxiety. Because I remember all the things they told me. I remember they were like, don't have the handles on pans sticking over the edge of the counter because someone could walk past and you could get like 5-degree burns, third-degree burns.
It's so bad they're 5-degree.
New classification.
5-degree burns. That's scary. I feel bad for child horror.
Horror.
It was a horror for Holly. No, I feel bad about that because I think that would have been my nightmare as a child. The name Danger Point seems wrong. That shouldn't be a place you take children.
It shouldn't, should it?
Fun. I remember a museum I went to when I was in primary school, and I want to say it's called, like, Magma or something. I don't think it is.
Ooh.
But it's got a fun, cool name. And it was all about science, but fun science. And I remember going and loving it so much that I wanted to have my birthday party there.
Oh my god.
But apparently that's not really a thing. I don't think children really have birthday parties at museums. By the time I was like, yeah, I want a birthday party at a museum. And they had a cool play area. It was very cool. I think they had a soft play area as well.
So they must have had children having birthdays there.
Well, if they did, I'm quite jealous that I never had it as a birthday party. Because I definitely mentioned it to my mum, and I think she was like, no.
It's a bit weird.
Maybe she wanted me to have friends, and that's why she discouraged that idea and was like, why don't you just go bowling?
Oh, my brother had a birthday in an aquarium once. It was so good. And it was like, I mean, it was the crappy aquarium in the town next door. Like, it's not state-of-the-art, whatever. But the guy, because mine and my brother's birthdays are so close together that we basically always had shared birthday parties, which was fine. Because we were basically sharing birthdays with Jesus anyway, so it wasn't like...
that's fair. I feel some resentment there. Not only is she sharing it with her brother, she's sharing it with Jesus. And she doesn't want to share it with any of these men.
No, I just want my birthday by myself.
Yeah.
But they took us into the back and we got to see the brand new baby seahorses.
Oh my god.
And they were so cute and small and just little swimming. So yeah, it was good. Have a birthday in an aquarium. I would recommend it.
Did you then have joint birthdays for a while, or did you get separate birthdays? Because I'm thinking in terms of birthday cake, did you have to share one?
No, we had 2 separate birthday cakes.
Oh, good, because I was worried for you, because like you and your brother, me and my brother were both born in November, but 2 weeks apart.
Yeah.
And also years apart. He wasn't born 2 weeks apart.
It's a miracle. Yeah. The twin that was left in the womb for 2 weeks.
That's why I'm the way I am. No, but we had to separate our birthdays, but that also made November very fun for me because I had my own birthday, I had my own cake, I had a party. 2 weeks later,
another celebration.
You get to. I feel like you always go to your sibling's birthday party no matter what.
Yeah.
There's cake. You feel like it's kind of about you, and you get to play with their toys.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But then December was Christmas.
I think if you were born between September and towards even mid-December, I think that's the best time because
Definitely.
The way the school system is, your birthday's coming right around the corner, you're always in school for your birthday. But me and my brother, Yuan is 4 days before Christmas, then there's Christmas, then it's my birthday. And I can't imagine anything different.
Yeah.
But Christmas week is our birthday week. So it's
I feel bad for your parents when you would be like, can I have this for my birthday and this for Christmas? And they were like, oh god, we have to pay for all this in 1 month.
I know, it's all that intensity of that week. I'd
be tired. I'd need
our celebration.
Do you feel that your birthday was always made special? Did they make an extra effort to make it?
Absolutely. And I think that's why I'm so kind of militant about celebrating people's birthdays now, because...
Same! I'm the same.
People just are oh, well, we're all tired from Christmas, we don't want to do all this stuff. And I'm but it's my birthday!
Yeah! But it's my day, not Jesus' day. This
my day.
For me.
And then it's 2 days after it's New Year, so there's so much happening in those 2 weeks.
I think I'd just give up on New Year's. I think I'd be like, I've done enough now. Time for a rest. I will say New Year's is probably my least favourite of all the... I feel like between October and the beginning of January, there's a lot of holiday celebration-y time.
Yeah, there is, isn't there? There's Halloween, there's...
my birthday.
Your birthday, bonfire night.
Yeah, which is always super fun. It's getting dark, there's fun snacks. Then there's Christmas, and Christmas really goes on for a month.
It does.
It's you're getting ready for it, there's Christmas music, there's Christmas trees, and then there's New Year's and your birthday and all this other stuff, and then other holidays for different religions and whatnot.
Yeah, it's great.
But then you get to January and February and it's nothing.
Yeah.
There's Valentine's Day, but
it's only if you... I don't know how I feel about...
Tell me how you feel, because I know how I feel, and I'm going to say I don't love it.
I don't love it. I think it's... Whenever you're single, and because I've only been single for Valentine's Days, so not to sound too bitter about it, but I think it's that thing of you're made to feel like you failed something if you don't have someone to celebrate Valentine's Day with, which is why I think Galentine's Day is much better. It's so much more fun. There's no hassle.
Yeah.
There's no stress. You just do nice things because you want to do nice things. And
if I'm honest, I prefer that because it's go for a nice meal with your friends, watch a movie, get a takeaway, do all these nice things with a group of your friends. This year we had to do Palentine's though.
Which sounded like Palestine Day, for one.
It's not quite as catchy as Galentine's. And you know,
we had to check... It was Galentine's Day, and we were going to go out to a Valentine's thing. And if it ever opens again, go to... Oh, I've forgotten what was the place that we went for...
Sheaf Street?
Sheaf Street.
Yeah, I love it there.
Such a good club and such a good vibe.
It's a really nice venue.
10 out of 10
But isn't it like a cafe in the daytime? So...
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah,
it's just a really cool place.
There's the whole bit where the bar is, and it's not quiet in there, but I feel like if you needed a break from it all,
it was a night, yeah.
Go sit in there. It was very nice. I feel I could have stayed there all night long. And often I don't feel that about a club, because sometimes it gets to 3 and I think,
I'm ready.
I'd rather be in my bed, and I can make it for another hour. But once it's hit 4, I'm thinking, ugh, I'm sweaty, I'm overwhelmed, and I want food.
Just want food. But we had a great time. Me and you were like going for it, dancing. We all went out.
That was an incredible experience that night.
It was.
And then I think we came back and we all sat at the table and had pizza or something.
Yes, because me and you had already cooked. We'd got into the habit of like pre-cooking pizza before you go out.
Had we got our Tesco ones?
Yes, the ginormous.
That whole weekend was lovely. Because we had, I don't know if anyone knows Tesco, and I don't know if they still do it. They did a deal where you got this massive pizza.
It was huge.
A side or a dessert.
Yeah.
And some dips for £5.
It was so good. They still do it, but I think it's £10 now.
I think it's £10 and you get 2 pizzas.
Right, yeah.
Which is okay, I guess. But we had the pizzas, went to bed, and then the next day not the day that we watched the whole of War and Peace.
Oh my god.
Ate the cake.
It was.
We
got Did we get Pizza Hut or Domino's? I feel like we had more pizza.
We got Pizza Hut as well. We went all out for Galentine's and we watched the whole of the BBC War and Peace.
Oh, it was 6 hours long.
I'd do it again. Also, had you not seen it before, or someone had seen it before, or knew what happened? And I was consistently surprised that sad things were happening.
I know.
And someone pointed out to me that it's war and peace. Like, it's not like war, peace, and happy endings. It's like war and peace. People are gonna die. And I was just, anytime something sad happened, I was like, I can't believe this. Why can't people just be happy?
I know. And it's so consistently sad as well, and also that it sparked a time in our lives where we would just consistently watch everything on Netflix that had James Norton in.
I feel I was partly to blame for that. Basically, I watched War and Peace and I couldn't get over it, and I just needed to see James Norton. This is a spoiler for War and Peace, but is it a spoiler when like the books? It's
so old.
And so is the TV series. Basically, James Norton's character dies. I was
tragically.
Happy. Yeah, very tragic. He's just happy. He's just found happiness, and then he dies. And I don't think I responded well to that happening. So, to cope with that loss, I made everyone watch James Norton stuff. And what did we watch with him in? Happy Valley? Did we watch Happy Valley after
We
that?
watched Happy Valley, yeah.
Alright. Again, it really shows James's range, but
yeah, he's an incredible actor.
Yeah, isn't he? But if you want to like
ruin that image
again,
of him,
you don't want to watch
don't watch
Valley.
Happy Valley.
If you want to watch a good piece of feminist TV, watch Happy Valley. I love Happy Valley.
Set in the incredible Yorkshire landscape.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of female relationships.
Yeah,
they're not perfect characters. Women saving women.
It's what we love to see.
James Norton being terrible. There's
an
a lot
actual
of good English
psychopath.
actors. Yeah. Oh, it was. I know some people were still attracted to him then. I know you're out there, whoever you are, that are attracted to evil James Norton. But yeah, I suppose we should get onto the theme of this week's episode, which, Holly, do you want to announce what it was this week?
This week, we are looking at reality TV.
Woo! Yeah, we love it.
I thought I was going to be like, oh, I'm so not over it, but I haven't watched it in a while. But then when I fell down the hole and I was researching, I was like, I've watched so much reality TV in my past.
I agree with that, because I think when you say reality TV, I think my immediate thought is stuff like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it shocks me how much is actually considered reality TV, so...
Yes!
I watch a lot of stuff like Come Dine With Me and stuff like that. If it's just on, I don't mind having it on in the background. I've watched that for years. That's reality TV. And
Is it? Is that
yeah, I think that counts as reality TV
Oh my
/
God.
game show.
Right.
But mainly reality TV. Also, I couldn't, when I thought of this, I was kind of like, should I swap to talking about this? But I didn't, because I like what I'm talking about more. But I remembered that I grew up watching America's Next Top Model.
I have also come across some things about America's Next Top Model.
I'm excited to hear it. I don't really have anything to say other than I grew up watching it, and recently, through people doing TikToks on it and other stuff about it, I've realised that it maybe taught the wrong lessons, especially if you were a child watching it.
Yes, I remember me and my friend who, she doesn't like watch a lot of stuff that we like I like to watch, but she loved America's Next Top Model, and so she got me into it, and I was like, yeah, this is so good, and you were really like invested in the cycles, and you were like, oh, na 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 na, and it was like, oh.
You knew who you wanted to win as well, and if someone else won, it was like, that they have been robbed. And some of the photo shoots were iconic, but
they were.
Back, many were problematic.
So
looking
many.
At you, Tyra Banks.
Oh,
why did
my
you
God.
do that?
Why did she allow, like, who suggested it? Who came up with it? Was it Tyra? Was it the, like, panel? Was it...
I think Tyra must have been responsible for some of it. I think she's kind of strange, and I think she is the sort of person that would be like, yeah, I think it's a good idea to put a bunch of white girls in blackface for a photo shoot.
And when you watch it, I'll link some of the videos that I've watched about like people looking over it, but it's scary how blatant it all is, because one of them, they were literally like, this week we're mixing up your ethnicity.
Oh,
so there's blackface, there's yellowface, there's whitewashing, like, black girls to make them look white. Like, it's terrifying that people just thought this was completely a good plot for that week.
My favourite episode every season, though, and I would look forward to it every season, was the makeover episode.
Oh my God.
Those episodes were incredible. They would always just shave a girl's head.
Yes!
They'd be like, yeah, no hair for you. And she'd be in the bathroom crying, and they'd be like, you're not going to make it in this industry if you can't handle having your head shaved. Has Tyra Banks ever had her head shaved? Probably not. If she has,
probably not.
Then okay, I get where she's coming from. Also, I don't know if you know this, but a recent season of America's Next Top Model was hosted by Rita Ora.
I do know that, but I don't know. Why was she? Why?
I don't know why she was the obvious choice, but I watched that season. It was actually really good. I would recommend it. I think it was probably more of a wholesome season. But then Tyra Banks still shows up sometimes, basically takes over from Rita. But I will get onto the actual topic soon, but I recently found out that Rita Ora's white. Fully white. But she was marketed by Jay-Z or whoever signed her as the new Rihanna or the next Rihanna. So they marketed her as not white.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's white. Or at least I've seen, if I'm wrong about this, I'm very sorry to reach for it, but I've seen some TikToks about it. I'll see if I can find some. I don't know if I will be able to, but if I can, I'll share them, because I was shocked to hear this.
That's crazy.
And the reason I was shocked is because in that season of America's Next Top Model, her sister's in one episode, and I remember thinking her sister was white, and being like, oh, okay, that makes sense, I guess. But then now thinking, oh yeah, it's because Rita Ora's white too.
Oh my God. So she's basically based a lot of her look on Blackfish. She's another Blackfish.
Essentially, well, she's basically, at least in her early days, copied a lot of Rihanna's looks.
Yeah.
Or copied Rihanna's style of look, I guess.
Oh my
God.
God.
I don't know who's to blame there. Probably partially Rita Ora, but I know that I remember when she was first a thing that it was that they wanted her to be a new Rihanna, so maybe they were sort of encouraging it, and then she didn't see the issue, but...
It's so I'm wearing her, you know, she does all those nail varnishes for Rimmel.
Yeah!
I'm wearing one of them now.
She does some nice nail polishes, though. She does a lot for Rimmel. Oh, I think that's to do with why she hosted America's Next Top Model, because Rimmel
We're sponsoring.
It. Yeah.
Yes, this is making sense now.
Every time I say America's Next Top Model, I keep going to nearly say American Horror Stories, which is kind of true.
So you want to be on top? Na 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 na.
Na 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 na.
Oh,
can we
amazing.
steal their theme song?
Yeah, should we just morph it into voice modulate?
This is America's Next Top Model, the podcast now. We're trying to see if we can get Tyra involved, but if not, Redraw will do.
Yeah, sorry Tyra, you've done a lot of bad things in your past.
I think Tyra Banks would just make uncomfortable jokes a lot. She would just try really hard to be funny, which, fair, but it would be tiring. Tiring with Tyra. That should be her podcast.
She should make...
Tiring Tyra! Okay, enough of Tyra for now.
Enough of Tyra. Who are you talking about today?
Okay, well, I am talking about Gemma Collins.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
I'm very excited. I'm talking about her specifically on Big Brother, mainly.
Incredible.
I've really gone quite deep into this. I've gotten investigative, and I've gotten really involved. I'm very excited, because when you said reality TV, and I immediately thought Gemma Collins. And then I thought afterwards, I don't know what I would talk about other than just list her quotes, her best quotes. And then I kind of thought more about her on Big Brother, and if I'm honest, I am going to list some of her quotes because I couldn't not, but I'm also going to analyse them.
Yes. Oh, how exciting.
Put my degree to use.
Yes.
So, here we go. I want to argue in this essay that Gemma Collins used Big Brother to cultivate the GC brand.
Yes, we love it.
So, here's the history. She's on Celebrity Big Brother in 2016. Now, she was already famous before that from being on The Only Way is Essex, but I don't think Towie. I don't think she was as big a name as she is now.
No, I don't think. Yeah, I think that's right, actually.
Also, before Celebrity Big Brother, she was on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. So you could say...
Was she?
Yeah.
I don't remember being on I'm a Celeb.
Well, there's probably a reason you don't remember. So you could say, like, oh, well, didn't she get the big fame from there? But no, because she withdrew after 72 hours.
Though, to be fair, I would do... There's a little tidbit.
Yeah.
That's apparently this year's I'm a Celeb, they can't go to Australia. Yeah. So guess where they're talking about going? Oh, they're talking about coming to North Wales, not that far away from me, to an abandoned castle.
I hope they go there. Because I'd seen a rumour, I don't think this is true, but there was a rumour that Carol Baskin might be on it.
Oh my god.
I don't think she will be, but that was like when Caitlyn Jenner was on it. And there was the rumour beforehand, and I was like, there's no way Caitlyn
and no one thought she was going to be on, but she was. She was there.
She was there. ITV have got a budget, and they're going to use it. But yeah, Gemma Collins rocks up to the jungle and leaves after 72 hours, supposedly because of health issues, but I think she just didn't like it. I probably can't say that.
I can't do it.
This is another thing. I wish I was better at accents, because the quotes really lose a lot when I say them, because a lot of them are done by Gemma, and then some of them are done by the Big Brother presenter voice, which is like a Newcastle accent.
Yeah.
I can't do
D45. No.
I'm so bad. Irish, but I appreciate this is why I'm not going to try it, because it won't be good.
It's not going to end well.
But just know that they're funnier if I'm not saying them. So basically, I make Gemma Collins less funny. So that's something to bear in mind. So, I think that Celebrity Big Brother had a big impact on her career. And I'm going to talk a bit about reality TV and celebrities. So, many celebrities will use reality TV to go in a different direction with their career. So, I think the best example is people who go on Love Island. They might have a few followers on Instagram, they're doing well. Some of them are, like, children of celebrities or relations with celebrities.
Yeah.
Like Danny Dyer, people like that. They go on Love Island, they're on there for a bit, and then they have a ton of deals. They have deals with clothing brands, they have deals with ITV, club contracts, stuff like that. They're making money, they're doing stuff.
Yeah.
However, then you get more like C-listers and B-listers, people who are on like soaps and stuff. They'll go on things like I'm a Celebrity, maybe Strictly Come Dancing, Dancing on Ice, and then Celebrity Big Brother as well, because maybe they want to be on This Morning. Maybe they want to have a segment. Maybe they want to be on The One Show. I feel like a lot of them get on The One Show now.
Do you think so?
Definitely people from Strictly Come Dancing, because for some reason around Christmas time this year I was watching a lot of The One Show, and I think that kind of shows what I was doing at Christmas probably wasn't much. And I was like, who's this new person presenting The One Show? My mum would be like, that person was on
Strictly Come Dancing. That's mad.
So, Gemma Collins, I imagine, she's doing well with some money from Towie. She goes on I'm a Celeb, she thinks this is too hard, I made a mistake. But she still wants to gain more fame. I'm thinking she does want to be on This Morning.
Yes, so, she's definitely got like a Alison Hammond kind of
she does.
Vibe.
She
Although
really
I love
does.
Alison. No one could replace
There's
Alison
no
Hammond.
replacing
But
Alison. As much as I love Gemma Collins, Alison is better.
Mm-hmm.
And she deserves her own podcast dedicated to her. I don't know what we talk about, but honestly,
she deserves it. I wanted to hear it.
She does. If we just sort of... Alison Hammond, I know you won't listen to this, but if there's any chance you have, can you come on our podcast?
Yeah.
I would like to interview you, because I feel you do a lot of the interviewing. I want to interview you. She's on TikTok, so maybe I'll sample this.
Yes.
On TikTok. Alison,
and get to duet it, and please come on the podcast.
Please, Alison, come on the podcast. I want to talk to you.
Have you seen the clip that's going around recently where she's teaching Beyonce the
Yes.
What's it like? Was it that?
And Beyonce's just copying her, and she's really vibing with Alison.
With it.
And it's a friendship I didn't know I needed, but I do. This is what I want to know from Alison. Is Beyonce nice? Are they friends now? Do they talk? And she really gets to know celebrities.
She does.
I want to know. Alison, please. Please, Alison. But yeah, this podcast isn't for Alison, I'm sorry. I wish it was. Back to Gemma. Gemma Collins will be offended if she hears this, that we just stopped talking about her and said we preferred Alison. But I do love Gemma. So, she goes on Celebrity Big Brother. Apparently, she was in there for 29 days, which seems very long for me. But
that's a long time.
Especially when you compare it to 72 hours that she was in the job.
Yeah, she was happy in the Big Brother house. She wasn't, like, gonna quit.
Exactly. But I think aspects of her personality became heightened because she was in there. She was trying to seem like she was a persona, and she was being watched 24/7.
It'd be terrifying.
And then people saw this and thought, yeah, I'm liking this, and the GC rose from that to the levels of fame she has now. So I've categorised this into 3 aspects of Gemma Collins' personality, which I think led to her becoming a meme following Big Brother.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the word wrong. An acronym?
And anachronistic. It's like when it's
I'm doing the wrong word. Okay. A bunch of letters.
Acronyms.
Basically, the letters spell COD. And that stands for comedy, outrageous behaviour, and diva-ship.
Oh, incredible.
Diva-ship I've stolen from Gemma because in a famous quote she said, I'm 34, I've earned my diva-ship. And she refers to herself as the diva. So that's the reasoning behind that.
Amazing.
So we'll start with comedy. I'm going to provide some examples of her comedy aspects that led to fame.
Yes.
Number 1, her rendition of Big Spender.
Oh my god.
She's wearing a little top hat. She's singing, "Wouldn't you like to have fun, fun, fun?" Kind of like that, but more Essex. That's the only example I'll give of how she sounds. She then puts her leg on the table, and I just think that it's relatable. It reminds me of being drunk, going out somewhere, and just whacking your leg on a table and singing. Moving on. This is my favourite quote because the way she says it, the sentence doesn't make sense.
Incredible.
She thought that gruel was made for Oliver Twist film. I don't know why she says Oliver Twist film. Why did she just say Oliver Twist?
Because it was a musical.
It's a musical, a book. Gruel is featured in both. But she thinks specifically gruel is made for Oliver Twist film.
Oliver Twist film.
If you watch it as well, the clip, the way she says Oliver Twist film, anytime there's a film, does she say film after it? She names a film and she has to follow up with film. Toy Story film. She has to end film.
The Bible book. Like, would she do it for every category of things?
I just think so much of this is quotable. She then this I have to give credit to the Big Brother narrator person, but it is her doing that makes me laugh. The Big Brother narrator says Christopher and Gemma are playing with a lemon in a sock. Why? Why? They're just sort of throwing a lemon around in a sock. Is that a thing? Am I just not aware of that? This is comedy. That's comedy's goal. It's subtle. It leaves you questioning, why are they playing with a lemon in a sock? Why
a lemon in a sock? Yeah, why is it in the sock?
I don't know, and they're sort of just launching it at each other. But also, I feel it's relatable to today, because it seems like a game you would invent in quarantine.
Yes.
You think, I've not got much to do right now, let's get a lemon, whack it in a sock, and just throw it at each other. And then, this is my last example of comedy and my favourite, and I struggled with which category to put this in, but I ended on comedy. It's when she cuts herself with a knife in the Big Brother house, and she screams, and then says, "Am I gonna die? Am I gonna die? It's fine, I'm gonna carry on. It's through to the bone." And the reason I like that is, it's relatable, but also, she changes so fast. 1 minute she thinks she's dying, and then like a trooper, she says she's going to carry on. She sacrifices herself, and then seems to notice that she's cut through to the bone, and still
She
continues.
hasn't, though, has she?
No, she has not. No, there's no way she cut through to the bone. I think she nicked herself. But the fact that she just carried on, absolute trooper. In her eyes, she's nearly cut through her thumb, but she will still make dinner for everyone in that Big Brother house.
Bleeding everywhere and... Oh.
There's blood in the food. Blood, sweat and tears from Gemma. So they're my examples of comedy. I think those aspects of Gemma really stood out, and everyone thought, this is good comedy, it's subtle, and we want to see more of it.
We do want to see... Yeah, I agree with that.
We wanted to see more. We wanted to see what more comedic action we could get from Gemma. And that leads me on to outrageous behaviour. This is just... I categorise the stuff in outrageous behaviour as it just makes no sense. I don't know why she did it. And I think that's why it was popular, because where comedy was kind of relatable, outrageous behaviour is not relatable in the slightest. So, the first example is when the Big Brother presenter says, Gemma thinks she has seen a ghost. I like this because why would the Big Brother house be haunted? But also, what if it is? What if it's haunted and that's why people get so angry in there? And Gemma's got like a sixth sense. Yeah.
She's like psychic.
Yeah, she's the only one that can see it. But imagine if we've been ignoring Gemma and calling this outrageous, but there's a ghost in there. Now, I firmly believe there isn't, which is why it's categorised as
outrageous.
But also, she then immediately goes to leave and says that she's getting out of there, which I think is good to see, because it reminds me of when you watch a horror film and you're begging people to leave and they will not leave. Gemma,
they won't leave.
Sees the slightest bit of a ghost and gets up and leaves. She is about to quit the Big Brother house. She can't be having it.
What did she see? Did she ever... Was it like
I think it was
an apparition?
I might be wrong, but I think it was the wardrobe door. That's what I kind of... That's what I grasped at. I think it was something like a door or a person. They figured out in the end that she had not at all seen a ghost. But the reason I like it is it's so outrageous that she would just immediately assume in a room full of people that the Big Brother house is haunted.
It's haunted.
Of all places. Like, the castle they're going to put all the celebrities in for I'm a Celebrity, that will probably be haunted.
It's fully haunted, and there's dungeons, and it's massive.
Yeah, so that's fair. Get Gemma in there, she can see the ghost there, but I'm not thinking the Big Brother house is haunted. My other example of outrageous behaviour is when she thinks she's pregnant in the Big Brother house. She says, I'm 100% pregnant, I know it. She then says she can feel it in her, which gives me Twilight energy. Almost like she's giving birth to a demon baby. I like it because it provides unprompted drama. The Big Brother house never knew this was going to happen. They didn't know that Gemma would suddenly believe she was pregnant. But she brings extra drama, and it's outrageous.
Had she had sex, or was it just...
No. I don't know why she thought she was pregnant. But cut to the Big Brother voiceover saying Gemma has found out she's not pregnant after all. After she said that she could feel it in her. And then she's just like, oh, I'm so relieved. The drama she provided, everyone was invested. Was Gemma pregnant?
Yeah.
She was not. She was not in the slightest. So that brings me on to our final point of how Gemma gained success from Big Brother. And that is diva shit. Gemma is famous for calling herself a diva.
A diva?
She should call herself a diva.
Yes, it would fit the brand.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
She's missing a point. TM it.
So the reason I think she presented herself as a diva, in her own words, is her absolute dislike of playing games. Anytime Big Brother tried to make her cooperate in a task that they have to do, as I guess part of the show, she just flat out refuses.
I love that. I really appreciate that, because there's nothing I hate more than like audience participation or forced fun.
This is my favourite point because it is relatable, and honestly, this might seem like a surprise, but I've compared it to like the Hunger Games. So she says, again in a very strong Essex accent, much funnier than my accent, "Now I don't want to play any more games. I'm gamed out. I've had enough of playing games." She's gamed out. She's much more angry. She's fuming. She's sat in the confession room or whatever it's called. And I just find that statement so relatable. I think it's like me when they made me do PE at school. I didn't want to play netball. So I feel this. I felt gamed out. I respect it so much for not participating in the show.
Yeah.
Because it makes me think, why is
she on it? Yeah.
She doesn't like games. Why is she on? This brings me on to my Hunger Games point. If we see Big Brother as almost an allegory for the Hunger Games, Gemma Collins is definitely Arcana Severdeen, because she won't participate in the games they make her play.
She'll fight the system from within.
Yeah. The reason I think this is her quote when she says, "I just want my life back instead of playing stupid tasks all day." She wants her life back. That's so sad to me. She feels her life has been taken away, her freedom, because they tried to make her play a game.
But the thing is, she's contractually obligated to do it. Like, that's the whole point of being on Big Brother.
It doesn't make sense. But I am seeing it as an allegory of the Hunger Games and her as Katniss Everdeen, or just any revolutionary queen. She continues this rebellion against Big Brother, a show which she agreed to participate in. Let me clarify. She wasn't forced to do this.
No, she wasn't.
Agreed to do it, and then refuses to do it when she's in there.
Incredible.
She is angry because her hair is frazzled. Because they've only got straighteners and no heated rollers. And everyone knows straighteners are what weirdos use on their hair.
What weirdos use?
If I'm honest, I don't know much about hair, but I would have said more people use straighteners than rollers.
I would say so.
Take a gamble. But Gemma, apparently straighteners are for weirdos. She is angry. I like that that's the thing that pushes her over the edge. All the games she's had to play that she hates, it's the hair. It's the fact they have straighteners. Because one would argue that you can get the effect of rollers from straighteners. And this is coming from someone who doesn't know much about hair. Surely you just have to sort of tip it over.
Wrap it around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got that. Come on, Gemma. Think more. But again, I just feel like I'm watching a dystopian film because I think she would do well in the Hunger Games. She's ready to rebel every second of the day against even the smallest thing. And then the last two, which are part of her divaship, I just think are good responses to if someone's annoyed you. And these are just what I'll conclude with. She says, "You're obsessed with me, and I love it." Again, it's much funnier when she says it. I just think that's a really good response. If someone's saying something to you, they're arguing with you, and you don't know what to say back, just accuse them of being obsessed with you, because you can't really respond to that.
I love that. No, you can't. It's like, why are you so invested?
Yeah, because if you do come back to someone who's just accused you of being obsessed with them, then you do seem like you might be obsessed with them. So I think that just shuts everyone up, and I do think we should consider using that in future.
I like
so
that, yeah.
Shockingly confident that anyone you're arguing with is just going to be shut up by it. And then this one, she is refusing to do a test for many reasons, but also because another contestant that she doesn't like can't get a shower. So she's not going to do the test so that contestant can't get showers more. And she says to the contestant, "To see you suffer would be lovely, darling." That is out of Shakespeare. That is a beautiful line. That's pure
That's
poetry.
Incredible.
And she says this straight up to this person's face, and
I admire that, though. I really admire the straightforwardness of it, that she's not afraid to... It's not like she's doing it behind everyone's back. She's like, no straight up, I would love to see you suffer.
Imagine saying that to someone. I would love to see you suffer. That is out of a film.
It is.
Anyway, so that concludes how I think Gemma gained success from those three aspects of her personality, which were really amplified on Big Brother and led to her becoming a meme, becoming appreciated and widely known. And now she has two shows of her own.
She does.
Diva Forever, and then the new incarnation, which is Gemma Collins' Diva on Lockdown, which was also very quotable.
God.
But, I think she's one of the few people that have done well from coronavirus, because she got her own show out of it. She just gets to go around and be on lockdown.
You can't do much better than that, can you? Considering that you're so much of a personality that people will give you a show even when you can't leave your house.
Exactly. And yeah, before I hand the mic to you, if you want to ever laugh, that series of Big Brother is the best series ever. I didn't watch it, I just watched clips from it all the time. And I really forget her name. I feel very offensive to this woman. Tiffany Pollard. She's in this season, and she has a famous clip where David Bowie's ex-wife is also in the season. And
is she?
Yeah, apparently. David Bowie had just died, and they told his ex-wife. She is really upset. So she tries to confide in Tiffany, and she said, "Can't tell anyone. David is dead."
I remember this clip. Oh my god.
There's someone in the season called David. Tiffany, for some reason, thinks they're talking about this David, and just starts screaming. And
She's crying.
If you ever want to feel happy, Watch that full clip.
David's dead!
I just think every time I watch it with a massive smile on my face because I've never seen such a misunderstanding. And she's like running around the house telling everyone, David's dead, and they're all like, no he's not, he's asleep over there. And the one guy who knows like that it's David Bowie is in the shower, so he couldn't tell anyone.
He couldn't calm it down.
Also, the guy that's in the shower that knew is the guy that I saw in Cabaret recently. So that's a fun fact.
Oh, was he? Who was he in Cabaret?
The MC.
Ah,
he was very good. A very good performance from him. I wish I knew his name to tell you, but I don't. Just watch that clip. He's the guy in the shower. Okay, over to you, Holly. Tell me some exciting things about reality TV.
Well, I have a few that I remembered that I absolutely loved. So the first one that I was thinking of, the ones that I'd forgotten about, so the lesser known ones, was there was this show, I think it might have just been called Eden, on Channel 4 a few years ago, and it was supposed to be this like social experiment where they took all, like, it might have been like 30 people, and everyone was like a vet or a doctor or a herbologist, like somebody that was, everyone had a very specific role, and so they took them away and they were like, to this remote place in Scotland, and they were like, you're going to build the perfect colony, because it was like one, each member had like a very specific role. And it was like, oh, well, we'll see if it's going to end up well. But they had to cancel it after maybe 2 months because it went all Lord of the Flies. And there were like different fractions of groups, so people weren't getting enough food because other people were like hoarding all the food. And it just completely fell apart and they had to cancel it because it didn't work.
Oh my god.
Isn't that mad?
They had to cancel it?
Yeah, they had to take everyone home.
Was there someone that was just leaving the evil doings? Was there one person that was like the leader and decided,
from what I remember,
not allow it? Yeah.
There was a few, like a couple, it was like 3 guys, and they all just ganged up and they were like, we don't like this person. And then some people tried to make like different camps, but obviously the people that had certain skills, like if you were a lumberjack or something, or you were an architect, like they took those skills away from the rest of the group. So because there was too many like competing, and it was definitely like there was a macho thing going on as well, I feel like, and so they had to cancel it after a couple of months. Because
was there a doctor who was there?
Yeah.
So do you think he or she was just like, well, you can't really be rude to me because if anything happens to you, I'm not going to save your life?
It was a girl and she was a junior doctor, and I think they had 2 junior doctors who joined. Right. So, like, people had to give up their jobs.
I think they have the most power. I think the doctors must have the most power.
You think they would, but I don't remember. I think it was definitely became, like, a test of wills at the end, and it was definitely the people who were more, like, forceful or aggressive. They were the ones that, like, took over.
The thing is, I know they can't do this, and it wouldn't be ethical if they did. But there is part of me that wants to see what would happen if they'd gone through it with it, you know?
Yeah, like if they said we aren't going to pick you up until it's over.
Yeah, I think there's part of me that wants to see what would happen, or if things like Big Brother, if they did it in a way that was a lot more serious and made it a bit more scary. I kind of want to see that. I kind of want to see people, and I know I shouldn't, but I want to see people genuinely just at their core human instinct trying to survive.
Yeah, because I think that's what we miss from reality TV, because I think a lot of it it's not reality. Yeah. It's like a scripted, edited version of, like, people are put in situations where they are being manipulated a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people watch it for. But I think if you could see, like, the reality, like the authentic self, and someone isn't being, I don't know, isn't presenting a persona like you were saying about Gemma Collins.
Yeah.
What kind of person would you see? Is that like the antithesis, that it's
that's
authentic?
I think halfway to it is when they do I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Because it's only 2 weeks, it's over in a short period of time. But imagine if they did that for a month. Because the whole thing about that show is that they always say, like, you can't really put on a persona because you're so hungry and tired.
Yeah.
So imagine if they did that for a month. I think it would get brutal. I think that's something I'd like to... I don't think they should, ethically, but there is the voice inside me that's like,
If they did it for, like, the length of Love Island, because Love Island used to be 6 weeks, and then when it became popular, they extended it to 8 weeks. Every day, except for a Sunday, they would have a show.
On so long.
It was so boring.
So long.
Oh my god.
For the whole of summer. How do you commit that much? I struggle with the commitment.
Yeah, how do you think... I get it that you just kind of lie around and don't do very much, and you just exercise in the sun, but 8 weeks? To get a brand deal?
Oh, I guess it works. They do get brand deals at the end.
They do.
But if the people who are out in the first week, do they get a brand deal, or like do you have to make it through a few weeks to get a brand deal?
I reckon probably around the 4-week mark you might get one when you first come out, depending on how much people loved you. But I feel like if you go in the first few weeks, like, no one really knows who you are.
Interesting. I think that's another sort of person I would like to interview. Someone who's been on Love Island. So I want to know, like, what was it actually like? And then when you came out, did you get a lot of offers?
Yeah, like the aftermath of it.
Were you arguing a lot? Did you feel you were more likely to argue because you were cooped up with these people? I want to know.
I reckon most of the time, because what you only see on telly is them all bitching about what's just happened, or which has clearly been like prompted by the producers. Yeah. But I reckon the rest of the other time they either just are lying there sleeping, or they just have like normal chat. I don't think they'd like.
Oh, that's so wholesome. I wish they showed the happy times of them just being like, so what do you do? Oh, you're a doctor?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Like, I want to see that. I want to see a reality TV show that's either the worst of humanity or the absolute best. That's all I want from reality TV.
Although, to be fair, it might be classed as reality TV, but like the Secret Lives shows, where it's like 6-year-olds and 4-year-olds, like the babies in schools. Oh my god. Absolutely, just
really watched
your heart.
That. I think I've watched one episode, and there is something nice about seeing toddlers operate. Because they're so strange.
They're so strange, and they're acting out these kind of like semi-human emotions, but they don't know what they're doing, and it's not the same, and it's all very like black and white for them.
Yeah. Oh. Anyway, tell me more about freaky things or non-freaky. Tell me more.
So, the reality TV that I used to love was the Made in Chelsea series and Real Housewives. Various things that they did. So, with Made in Chelsea, it's been going on... It's on the 17th season.
How?
And I don't know. And they've completely, like, recycled... None of the old people are in it anymore. Because they're all bloody mummy bloggers now. So why would you be doing...
I only know it from its, like, very early episodes. So I just remember, like, Jamie and...
Well, he was still in it.
Jamie's still in it?
I feel like Jamie might still be in it.
I feel like Jamie would be clinging on. Who? Spencer and
Spencer,
Jamie.
Binky, Ollie...
Proudlock's quite the name.
Proudlock, yeah. Like, I feel like... I don't know. I don't think any of them did it as a platform, which I think is really weird because I think they had enough money that they could do what they wanted anyway.
Yeah, especially the early episodes. I don't think they were that bothered. I think they were just having fun.
They were just literally having fun. And I listened to a podcast that Jamie Lang went on with Elizabeth Day, and I think it's her How to Fail series.
Oh, okay.
So it came out like a few years ago, but he was talking about it and he was saying that it wasn't scripted. It would be, they would like, because they were all friends, they would make plans and then they would tell the producers who they were meeting, and then the producers would like set up the situations. So when they always like run into each other and that's the joke. So that's like it. I think at the beginning it was probably quite organic. Yeah. But then I tried to find some of, like you look for funniest moments from Made in Chelsea. It's just fights. Like it's literally just people fighting. And I was like, well, there must have been
funny moments.
Yeah.
I think there were. Or there were, like, moments that were awkwardly funny.
Yes, but there was none of them as, like, the compilations, which, actually, shout out to Katie Speddings, because we had one random conversation about this, where she was like, oh yeah, I've been watching all the old Made in Chelsea stuff on YouTube as procrastination, so I was like, great, there must be a wealth of knowledge out there, but it's literally just the fights. Like, I was so surprised.
I'm surprised by that. I definitely feel there was funnier bits to it.
Just posh people fighting over in
That
like
in
beautifully
itself is
lit.
funny.
It was quite fun, but I was so shocked because so much of like the most savage moments were, aside from the fights, are like people getting their drinks thrown, girls throwing their drinks on guys, or slapping them, which is So Millie McIntosh, who is now just had a baby. And she's now like proper mommy blogger as well. But I think it was when Spencer cheated on Louise once again. We're talking maybe like 10 years ago or something.
Spencer!
And he was such an idiot. Like, he was such a...
Spencer now is like, I don't want to say wholesome, but he has a child.
He has a child as well. Like, they've all got children.
I don't know if it's his wife or his girlfriend, whoever. It's really nice.
Yeah, I think they got married.
She's on This Morning sometimes.
Is she?
Yeah, she does the fashion segments.
Oh, she's got a really posh name though, hasn't she?
Do you know what? I feel like I think it's not. I think it is posh, but I think she's Irish.
Oh, I
don't think she might be posh, but I don't think she's as posh as he is.
No, he is. His brother got married to Pippa Middleton, so I think that's the.
Oh my gosh, yes. Where's his money from? Because I know where Jamie's is from, and like Millie McIntosh and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was all the sweets, wasn't it?
Yeah, but where's?
I think they had
business?
Their parents owned hotels in like St. Bart's and St. Tropez, and you know, if you're.
I would never get a job. I just go to those hotels. I just stay in hotels. That would be life.
If you were like the property manager or something for a hotel in Turks and Caicos or something.
Oh my god.
Sorted.
I would love that.
But yeah, so the slaps that happened. So Spencer got slapped by Millie. And then when, like, I think genuinely the biggest heartbreak that happened was when Alex Mitten cheated on Binky once again, but him and Spencer had an orgy.
Yes, my gosh, I remember that. Why was that a thing?
Why was that a thing?
Isn't Neil always Binky getting cheated on a lot?
She was.
I feel
like throughout. It was awful.
Binky, I'm sorry.
I know, and I think that's why she became like my favourite kind of character on it, because you just felt so, not bad for her, but she seemed like she was a bit ditzy and like didn't have much. But she was really sweet and like liked her friends, and she was just getting cheated on. But then her and Alex Mitten were like, he in his like sobbing, tearful thing, he was like, we're soulmates and I'm so sorry, you're the last person I want to hurt and all this stuff. And it's like, you don't anyway.
Is that real though? Did they actually have that orgy?
Yeah, I think they did.
I just can't imagine it. Like, I can't imagine Spencer. He's so... Have you seen that topless picture of Spencer? But it's
my god,
he's just sort of stood there. He's not closing at all. And he's smiling. I wish there were visuals so I could show.
We'll put it on the We'll put it on the Instagram.
It's not bad. It's just an odd picture, and so when you say orgy, I'm just thinking of him stood there. So his posture's so strange and smiling at everyone.
Oh no! It just.
So what happens? He's saying she's the love of his life. He doesn't want to hurt.
It doesn't want to hurt, but it's like in a public event thing, and then Binky slaps him before she walks away. Like, this is... And they all don't address... Like, there was a video where it was Sam Thompson, Jamie, and Alex Mitten. They were, like, looking over it and kind of commenting on it during quarantine. And they were like, oh, yeah, I feel really bad about... Alex was saying he felt really bad about it. But he was like, oh, I can still feel the slap and I absolutely deserved it.
God.
And I'm like, well, that's domestic violence.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not right.
And
if
for it to be...
if she'd come in and said, yeah, I cheated on you,
Yeah.
and he slapped her, we'd all be like,
It would be awful. It would never be shown. It would never be,
No.
like, now part of all the compilations where it's like,
No,
oh, look
not
at the
at
good old
all.
days of Made in Chelsea. And I'm like, who is okay? Who?
No.
It just perpetuates awful.
Sam Thompson, he's Louise's brother, right?
Yeah.
Do you know my theory about Sam Thompson potentially being a sociopath?
No. Tell me.
This is purely
conjecture.
I don't mean it. Basically, there is a show called SAS Who Dares Wins, which is basically people do the SAS training with people who have been in the SAS. They made a celebrity version of it for Stand Up to Cancer or something. The first series of it, Sam Thompson is on it. I genuinely believe he could have won it.
Oh my god.
But not in sort of a good way. I don't think he responds to authority at
Really?
all. I wish I could show you clips, and maybe there is some clips out there, but he was always sort of... He wouldn't do something. They would tell him to do it, and he wouldn't do it. And then the way they punish people is by making everyone else do it. So it'd be like, you have to do 10 push-ups. He wouldn't do it, and then everyone else had to do it. And I just don't think he cared that much.
Oh my god.
Well, no, he seemed to care when the other people had to do it, but whenever he was instructed to do something, he wouldn't do it. He didn't respond well. And then they do sort of the final episode, or maybe the one before it, they basically torture them, but like on a...
Oh my god.
In a safe way.
Is there a safe way to torture someone?
They take them in for questioning and grueling and, all the SAS stuff. And they make them do this thing where they have to stand in stress positions or something. I think that's what you call them. So just positions that are really uncomfortable for your body if you're in them for a long time, and you'll cramp up and tense up. And they put headphones on you and make you listen to, like, people screaming or, like,
oh my god,
nails against the chalkboard sort of stuff for ages. And I just don't think, like, everyone else is, like, crying or being like, oh, I don't want this to stop. Sam Thompson, I might be remembering this wrong, but I just don't think he was that bothered.
Oh, that's so scary.
And then they made him leave because they were like, yeah, you won't leave yourself. Because most people at this point will be like, I have to leave for
Breaking
myself.
point, yeah.
Yeah. They said that he just wouldn't reach that point, and if they didn't make him leave, he just wouldn't stop. So they were like,
god,
we're saying you should leave. So he had to leave. So I just, when me and my mum and my brother watched it, and we were just kind of like, odd behaviour from Sam. But I do think he could have won. If he could have won it. Yeah.
If he had a bit more humanity in him, or he reacted. But that's
purely speculation, Sam.
You were saying about, like, wanting to see the true character of people. Yeah. I feel like that speaks something, like, a huge volume about... Because it's not just about endurance, and it's not just about how much can you take before you break and being unbreakable, because no one's unbreakable, but that something's really been twisted.
If you want to see people get close to their breaking point, I think that show is the closest you'll see. And the thing is, they get a bunch of, like, on the celebrity ones, they get a bunch of people who have been sports stars in the past, and then they, like, I think it was Victoria Pendleton was on it.
Oh, yeah.
And basically they're on it because now they essentially feel worthless because they're too old to do that sport. And she was basically saying that she felt she could have done the Olympics again, but they were basically like, yeah, we don't think you've got it in you to do another one.
Really?
And replaced her with younger people.
Oh my god.
So then she just felt like she was worthless because you train basically your whole life to get to the Olympics, and she did a few, and then they were like, yeah, done with you now.
Awful.
So then they go on this as a way of sort of proving themselves, and there's like bits where they take them, like two SAS men take people into a room, and sometimes they shout at them, but most of the time they're just like, so why do you think you lack confidence? It's like,
oh my god,
therapy from these really big, muscly men who are like, yeah, you really need to look in the mirror and, like, work with your demons. Stuff like that. So, yeah.
That's mad. And I also don't really like that. I think because Sam Thompson is going out with Zara, who is on Love Island.
Yes.
And I think she now has cameos in Made in Chelsea, and you just think, oh, this is so, it's almost like another world, isn't it? Because you just have, there's like no one else, unless you've been on reality TV, and obviously they've been on it for a long time now, and you just can't escape it. You just don't, there's like too many crossovers, they just have cameos, and it's like, I don't care. I didn't care about her when she was on Love Island, because she came in and she was 20, and she was like, oh, yeah, I work for the government. And then she turns out she voted Brexit, and everyone like bullied her relentlessly for it.
I just think watching Love Island now would make me feel a bit sad, because it's like 21-year-olds being like, or like 19-year-olds going,
oh my god, yeah.
I just want to fall in love and get married, and I'm like, I would like a job, please.
I would like some form of employment, and that is all.
Employment, or like the will to live would be lovely. And they're on there like, yeah, I can't believe I'm single. I'm 19. I thought I would be married by now.
I don't understand the mentality, and I think the days of Love Island are possibly over, because I think with the two people who have really like tragically killed themselves out the other side of it, and also Caroline Flack this year.
Yeah, I know.
It's like a cursed show, and I'm not trying to be insensitive about it, but you know, the awfulness that it kind of creates, and kind of what I think it might have been the Love Island from 2 years ago when Samira was on it.
Yes.
And week after week she wasn't humiliated, but I think it was close to that point where she wasn't getting picked because of racism. And you just think, that's to put someone through that.
That show has problems.
There's so many issues, and it's really dull.
Fix it. And it's so like, I think we've progressed past it. If you enjoy it, that's fine, and like they should. I'm sure a lot of people love it, and they should keep going because of that. But it's so heteronormative.
Oh my god,
it's racist, and it's like it just encourages a bad mentality of like
body image.
And I remember because I didn't watch it, but Megan, I don't know her second name, but Megan, who was on it maybe 2 years ago, one. And when she was in it, they were all mocking like the amount of surgery she'd had done and how she looked pre-surgery, and like getting pictures of her pre-surgery and laughing. And I just thought, well, this is why people get surgery, because you're picking up pictures of her before it and being like, ha ha, ugly and stuff like that. She looked fine. She looked fine both ways. She was perfectly happy, let her be happy, but they were rude. And I saw girls doing this and posting it on their Instagram story, and I just thought, like, it's, I mean, I know it shouldn't be that much of a difference, but when boys do it, I'm like, okay, well, but when girls do it, and I just think, have you never felt like
insecure or comparing your body to someone else's? And
I think it encourages a very negative
100%
conversation around it.
Yeah, it's awful.
But tell me about the Real Housewives.
Real Housewives.
I don't watch this. I feel bad that I don't, because I think it would be funny.
I think you would love it, genuinely. Yeah. I feel like
because I like I'm gonna say her name wrong because I don't watch it. Lisa Rinna, is that her name?
Lisa Rinna. Yes. Rinna. Oh my god, she gives me life.
She's so funny.
She's so funny. So the main ones that me and my mum watched were New York, which I think might have been one of the first ones, and then Beverly Hills. Yes. So it's kind of Kardashian territory without ever having the crossover. So there's two sisters who are Paris Hilton's aunties.
Oh my god.
So it's like, that's kind of Kim Richards and Kyle Richards.
Right.
And their sister Kathy is Paris Hilton's mum. So they're like staples. Mad. Lisa Rinna is married to Harry Hamlin of Mad Men fame. And their daughters are literally... Is he
an actor?
Yeah.
Who's Harry Hamlin?
He's in, I think it's like the later seasons.
I'm going to look him up now.
And he takes, I think he was like a proper teenage heartthrob in the 80s.
Harry Hamlin. I have to see this. I bet my Wi-Fi is going to cut out just because I need to see Harry Hamlin. Oh!
So she's married to him.
Right.
She's married to him. And Yolanda Hadid was on it, as we've kind of talked about before in the podcast. But, so yeah, they were just, the amount of I don't know. I think the difference between like British reality TV and American reality TV is you feel like there are a lot more, not like different values, but I feel like they're put into, it's more scripted. I feel like you can definitely tell, and the kind of the wealth of it is a different kind of wealth, and it's all like big houses. They're always on a yacht. They're always, I mean, Made in Chelsea kind of do this as well, but I feel like because they're celebrities rather than just like rich people.
I mean, if you think our first equivalent to like the Real Housewives probably was Towie.
Yeah.
That I didn't watch it, but I don't think that was like people on yachts and stuff. I think that was just kind of the people of Essex.
Yes. Like rich, like people that were slightly wealthy in Essex, and that's, you follow them around. It's like Housewives of Cheshire.
Yeah, it wasn't close to, I guess, the wealth of like you see in other stuff, especially the Kardashians now. I do think there's different wealth going on there. Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's the biggest difference between the two. But oh my god, Lisa Rinna is an absolute gift to the producers, because she will just come out with all kinds of accusations, whether they are right or wrong. Like the Munchausen's one, and the
Munchausen's one's my favourite. You just saw it. It's almost like the Big Brother, like David's dead thing. It was like she kind of spread it in a way that it just led to misunderstanding, and
it just I
just love what she did there. I mean, very offensive to like Yolanda, but
100% to question
comedy gold.
But this, I think she doesn't really. I think she's really, really good fun. So I think a lot of she doesn't come at it from a bad place.
No.
But there are things where she's like, there's another time where this other housewife called Dorit, who's got a really weird accent, so she pretends that she's English almost, so she's got a really strange accent that kind of she sounds like this all the time, and it's a few years old. I don't know, her husband's English, so, and he's this like really pasty, huge, but clearly just like a really rich Englishman, and he's red. He's just not he's not the most attractive man in the world.
No, sorry.
But she just says to Dorit, she was like, why did everyone get up off the out off the table when we were just sitting there having a time? Like, I was just left at the table by myself. And then she was like, was everyone doing coke in your bathroom? Just flat out, just as like asks it. And she's an absolute gift to them. And but I think the other thing that I was really surprised at, because the highlights from New York was we didn't like this woman Aviva, because she was just really weird and she was a bit creepy and stuff, and this was probably like 2014 something, so it's a while ago. But the famous bit from that is they're all having a big fight at the dinner table at the end of the season, and she's getting called like a hypocrite, she's getting called fake, and she's not a nice person. But then she goes, the only thing fake about me is this, and throws her prosthetic leg onto the table.
Oh my god. I mean,
in a restaurant.
In a restaurant? Fair though.
In a restaurant. And like they're looking at, I don't know if the people are like actors or stuff in the background, but they're all like looking and laughing, and they're like, what is happening? She's just throwing her leg around.
It's the only thing fake about her, okay? She needed to make the point.
The only thing fake about her?
That she made the point. We can't say she didn't make a point. She did.
It was so funny, but again, with the kind of like surprising amount of like violence that was shown in Made in Chelsea, the bits that were always like the biggest fights in the Real Housewives were people throwing glasses at each other. So like Ramona Singer does it to this woman Kristen, while like Kristen's swimming in the water and she splashes Ramona on a boat. She gets Ramona's hair wet, so Ramona throws her glass of wine at her, and she's like, her lip gets cut because she's got
Wait, she doesn't throw the wine, she throws the glass?
She throws the wine and then she throws the glass.
What?
Isn't that mental?
Enough. Like, you just need, like, throw the wine if you want.
Yeah.
Don't throw a glass. That can really hurt someone.
And then Lisa Rinna does the same thing in a restaurant with Kim Richards, because Kim has, like, these huge alcohol issues. And I think this is the other... I'm going on a bit of a tangent, but this is the other thing about American reality TV, and I suppose British TV does it as well, but if someone is like has serious issues, and normally it's around alcohol or like substance abuse, or they get arrested, which all the housewives basically have, they've all got mugshots, it's ridiculous.
Is Lisa Rinna?
I don't know if Lisa Rinna... I don't think she's been arrested, but she...
Ooh.
Basically, so she was having this fight with Kim Richards because Kim Richards said, let's talk about your husband. And Lisa Rinna went, don't ever talk about my husband. She, like, rises off the table. And then she smashes her wine glass. And, like, it shatters everywhere and nearly, like, to kind of, like, look like she's going to glass. It's mental. Like, to think they're doing all this in public as well.
Do you think the producers encourage violence?
I don't think... They might not encourage it, but I think they wouldn't discourage it. I think if it happened, they were more than happy to capture it all.
Because I think this is different because they're siblings, but you know recently when Kourtney Kardashian and Kim Kardashian had that fight and like
it's awful.
Kourtney literally shoves Kim's face into the wall to the point Kim's makeup's left on the wall.
Oh my god.
And I just thought, they're adults. I don't think I would ever fight with my sibling like that now.
No.
I don't think there's any amount of anger. I would just leave the room. If anything, just slam the door if you need to make a point. Don't shove anyone's face into a wall. It's
so violent, and it's like, what's the responsibility if someone is either displaying this like really aggressive, violent behaviour, or they're clearly in a terrible, terrible place, but the cameras are still rolling and it's all still being part of the storyline of the show. I think that's where it starts to get really like, even though we love to watch it because we're like, there's so much drama, but the behaviour is shocking. You would hate for it to be you, wouldn't you, or your family member?
Yeah, and that was your family.
Yeah.
If your family was having those sort of fights, or your mum was going out and throwing glasses at people.
Oh my god, you would be...
Like, I'm sorry, I think you need to get some help, because that's not a normal response as an adult. I don't think it is anyway.
I would hope not.
I don't think I would ever want to throw a glass at someone.
No. Or like slapping someone, or any of this stuff. It's just... Why is that?
No.
It's not lauded, but it's like more accepted because it's on I don't know. It's like it's been framed differently.
I think probably because it's almost like the problem with a lot of reality TV is you get stuck in the place between like fiction and reality. So I guess at some point you're like, oh, this is fictional, but if you really think about it, no, that is someone slapping someone.
Yeah.
If you put it into if you move what happens and place it in like your everyday life,
you'd be horrified.
It's scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that shouldn't happen.
No.
But outside of it, if you can distance yourself, it's fun. It's all fun and games.
So they are my... I felt like I was revisiting my teenage self a lot.
I like that.
The escapism of watching reality TV.
What's your favourite?
My favourite one? I think maybe... maybe it was Made in Chelsea. I just think because I watched it for such a long time.
Yeah.
And I still, every now and again, I have a look and see how, like, Binky is and her baby. I mean, her baby's like 4, so I don't know why I keep calling her
4.
baby.
I feel like it was just yesterday I was watching their little show on the baby being born.
Oh my god. It was
She's
so
not with
cute.
him anymore? She's not with him?
No.
Oh.
She's with someone else, though, I think.
Oh, okay, that's probably better. He never seemed that committed to the...
No. But they were, like, quite happy together, and I hope they're happy with... But, I mean, they're absolutely killing it with the baby blogger front, you know.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's... You know, if you're going to have a baby, might as well
milk it.
I think my favourite...
What's your favourite,
is, I think this is probably quite problematic, but I know a lot of people watch it. Have you ever watched the 90 Day Fiancé ones?
Oh my god, I've seen clips.
There's so many different versions of it now, but my favourite is they do 90 Day Fiancé, and then I think it's called Pillow Talk or something like that, where they get past people who've been on it, and they comment on the episode that's just happened.
Oh, I get you. Yeah.
Kind of like Gogglebox, but specifically for 90 Day Fiancé. And there's couples that when they were on the show, you thought they'll never work out. And they're still together, and they're so happy.
Oh my god!
There's this one couple that just baffles me because he's a lot older than her, and you wouldn't think she would be with him, but he doesn't have any money or anything. And they seem to be happy. But on the show, she was always getting at him because he didn't have any money. and he didn't have a job and stuff. But on this, they're happy, and they're
happy.
always commenting on other people's relationships. And it's so ironic because it's like when you were on the show, you were terrible, but here you're so nice and lovely. So I love that. If you want a show with a lot of drama, it's 90 Day Fiancé. Any of the versions of it. It's people just being problematic, because it's like someone's like, this is my fiance who I'm going to marry in 90 days, and they're from a different country and a culture that you don't understand, and all their family's just like, okay, let's just be super racist or xenophobic. It's just stuff like that. I love to see it. And then there's 90 Day Fiancé the other way, where like Americans go to different countries and they're just shocked by the culture.
Oh no.
They're just
Is it quite like colonizing? Does it feel quite...
I don't think so.
Oh, well that's alright then.
No, I don't think it does. I think sometimes the other way ones are quite nice, because it'll just be someone being like, instead of them being like, because I'm American, I'll have my love come to America because America is the better place. The other way one's like, compromise, I'll go live where they live. And some of them are nice, and some of them, they'll like go to Ethiopia and be like, I don't really like it here, and then of like diss the culture, and then the people who live there are like, this is how we live, like, be nice.
Yeah.
So I really like that show. But I don't know if it is problematic. I'm sure it has been.
I know the one that it's like, is he called Ed? The guy.
I've not seen this season, but I
don't
really
know.
want to. Ed and his girl, and he's just really rude to her, but then she's back.
And she's doing it for like financial reasons.
Yeah.
Or so they say, and he's actually just really rude.
He's so rude. He bought her toothpaste because her breath smelled bad.
Oh my god.
And he said that to her, and then that was when she says in, I don't know where she's from, but she says in her like first language, "You're ugly," and then he responds and he's like, "Does that mean I love you?" And she's like, "No."
Oh dear.
Reality TV, it's a thing. It's kind of almost
it's a thing.
all television now, if you think about it.
Yeah, it's not going to go away. All telly it's as scripted as normal telly. It's just kind of set up in a way that's like a different soap opera, I think. I think they've got to have drama.
If you could be on a reality TV show, which TV show would it be? And it can be a game show sort of thing as well.
Does Bake Off count?
Yes.
I think I'd like to be on Bake Off, although it does look very stressful and I'm not very good. I just like baking. I feel like
the second task where you have to...
Yeah, it's the guessing one.
I don't like that one. That bit I would probably cry at. I'd be just staring in the oven, crying.
But it would be good telly.
I didn't think you'd say Bake Off.
What did you think I would say?
I don't know, I kind of thought you'd say something like really full of drama. I don't know why.
I love the drama, Mick.
You sat at the table like, I wish you'd be... I know you wouldn't, but it'd be fun if you were like... they should do like a Real Housewives of Wales or something, and you should just find your way on it and just sit there and be like, I think you were doing cocaine.
Become the Lisa Rinna of Wales.
Just like you never cause drama with other people, you just cause it with yourself. You're just kind of rude about yourself. There's this really annoying girl. It's me. That would be me.
Which one would you be on?
Don't know, I asked you the question, so you'd think I'd have an answer. There is part of me that would like to do something like America's Next Top Model, not for the modelling, but...
To live in that house and to just go through...
the fun aspects of it.
Yeah.
Like a show where you get to live in a nice house for a limited amount of time, I think
that's a good idea, yeah.
There was a show, I think they did one season of it on E4 back in the day, and it was where they brought like an American sorority house to an English university, and they tried to set up a sorority at an English university.
Oh my god, I would love that.
Yeah, I would quite like to be on that, because although sororities...
Not good.
We should save this for a podcast, but terrible. Apparently they're really bad.
Yeah, I haven't heard many good things.
Glamorized in films and stuff, that I didn't even know that you have to pay to get in.
Do you?
Yeah, like thousands.
Oh my god. Jesus.
I don't have that sort of money. That makes it seem like it's for elites. If you're... Again, shout out to our American viewers. You can't watch this. American listeners.
Yeah. Let us know. Have you been in a sorority or a frat?
So people were really trying to get answers from American listeners about sororities or frats. Alison Hammond, and anyone who's been on a reality TV show.
Yeah.
So I'd like to know what that was like.
Gemma
if
Collins.
You're all three of those things.
Hit us up.
Yeah. Mainly.
You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and we now have a Facebook group.
Yes, we do have a Facebook group. I'm not entirely sure how they work, but I think you just type in Culture Hang.
Request to join.
It will have our little picture. Request to join, and then we can have little chats and everyone can become friends. And
It'll be lovely.
We can live in a little ideal world of happiness.
Will.
I'm sorry if there's been any slow responses on this podcast or it sounded a bit weird. My Wi-Fi has been bad, so I'm sorry about that. But we just want to give you the best content we can.
We do, because we love doing this, and we hope you love listening to it as well.
We do.
So...
Also, we're nearly... Well, we're not nearly, but maybe in a week.
Yeah.
We've had 100 listens.
Which is incredible. So thank you so much.
And if we can get to 100 listens from people... we will do a special podcast.
We'll do a special bonus.
A special bonus podcast, which will be super fun. And, we'll feature some of our favourite interests.
Yeah.
I'll give you no more clues, but basically, get us to 100 listens and you'll find out.
Yeah, tell your friends, tell everyone about it. So,
yeah. Follow the social media, get in touch, listen to our podcast. That's all you've got to do. So, I hope you have a nice week.
Yes, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye. Goodbye.